This episode of Chasing the Dollar is proudly brought to you by Sportingbet. There's no better bet than a Sportingbet.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Chasing the Dollar, brought to you by Sportingbet. I'm Ben Way. It's great to have your company. Plenty of great racing to rattle through, so let's get straight into it. I'm joined by Adam Pengilly. Great to have you in, mate. How are you?
Hello, Ben. I'm going very well.
Some quality racing, particularly at Wentworth Park and Dapto, Thursday and Friday night at Dapto.
Yeah, really looking forward to the two-day Dapto Carnival, which kicks off on Thursday night with a time-honoured Dapto Maiden. And then on Friday night, we've got the big Sportingbet Megastar. Kudos to the Dapto Club and Sportingbet as well. They've really put a lot of effort into this race to get it to Group 1 status, and there was a nice little innovation last week with Connections able to choose their box at the box draw. It was a nice bit of theatre actually to see which way Connections would go, and really made for a great spectacle, I thought. All
right, let's get straight into it. Let's have a look at the Dapto Maiden on the Thursday nights, and race 6, it's over the 520. Who can you get us some money with here?
Going to go with number 8, Corborn Rev here, Ben. Looks like a really professional greyhound. If you go through some of the semi-final footage the other night, it seems a lot of these greyhounds seem to shift off the tracks, which might make his outside draw a little problematic, but I still think he has a huge class advantage over some of these. Ran a pretty smart 29.81 in the semi-final, albeit a couple of lengths slower than what he ran in the heat, but he should be able to carve across the lead from an outside draw here. If he does do that, he'll take a power of beating, so he's the top pick for mine. The only real danger for me looks like number 6, Ritza Danny. Like Corborn Rev, he also contested the Laurie Healy Memorial Series at the Gardens and didn't manage to win a race in that series, which made him eligible for the Dapto Maiden. He ran the hands off the clock with a 29.60 win in his semi-final the other night. Just a little bit concerned about the draw with some of the pressure from underneath him, but he's definitely a chance of winning this race as well. A couple of smokies for your wider multiples are number 3, Corborn Whip, which is a litter sister to the favourite, and number 1, Zampada, which has won the heat and semi-final at long odds, but it's really hard to see the winner coming from outside Corborn Rev and Ritza Danny.
There we go. So certainly looking to the outside boxes to salute there. And as we head to the Friday night, the feature there, looking to the outside box once again. As I understand it, you think Zulu Zeus might be delivering here?
Yeah, I do, Ben. He looks like the best dog in the race, but I've got a word of caution. I would not be tumbling into the $2.20 for that price at the moment. I think that's rock bottom odds. I think at a much better price by jump time on Friday night. Having said that, I still think he's the best greyhound in the race and he'll be my top pick. If you go back a few weeks, he did set a near track record time in the New South Wales National Sprint Championship final at Wentworth Park from the outside box. I reckon he's just got a huge motor. He should be able to balance up coming around that first turn. If he's within striking distance down the back straight, it'll be far too strong. Let's not forget that he actually beat the track record at Dapto last week, won out in a trial running 29.46. That's absolutely sizzling. He's flying for this race and the top pick, but like I said, I would wait till Friday night and he should be able to get a better price than the $2.20 on offer at the moment. Going to include number 3, Glenn Gallen for second. The veteran Queenslander looks primed for this series as well. Ran 29.50 odd in his trial at Dapto last week. He's got plenty of early speed with a moderate beginner on his outside. He should be able to rush towards the lead and might loom as the winner at some stage. Number 7, Amadeus Strikes, goes in for third. She's going to go around at a huge price for mine after a massive run in the prelude when she almost got knocked down going into the first turn. So I'm happy to back her on an each-way basis. And number 1, Proven Nitro, goes in for 4th off the rails. Should be an ideal draw, but I still reckon Zulu Zeus might be able to get the chocolates in the big one on Friday night.
There we go. So going with the favourite, but just a word of warning, hold off for now to try to get a better price. And speaking of which, a great initiative by Sportingbet. Now, the best Tote Plus, guaranteed better than all the Totes. It's available on all the group races, so it's plus 5% on the best Tote. You have no excuse whatsoever from getting the best price available. All right then, time now to focus on Wentworth Park, the all-important quaddie legs. Let's hope that we can get this one up after somewhat of a failure last week. Let's head to race 5. It's an interesting race, this one, and Anthony has a party with 2 there, the 2 outside boxes, and you think they might be running the Quinella?
Yeah, I reckon he might have a pretty strong hand on Saturday night in this race, Ben, and thanks for reminding us about our failure at Wentworth Park last week. Just leaning towards Dark Assassin to shade the kennel mate Furley Rain here. He's a pup with a huge amount of ability. He always had big raps on him, just hasn't quite put his best foot forward at Wentworth Park yet. But I think he's got the draw in the race to figure here. He should be able to zoom down the centre of the track, be in the first 2 or 3 going around the first turn. If he can do that, I reckon he can break through at Wentworth Park. It might be a decent bet on Saturday night. Going to include Furley Rain for second. Wasn't too bad a few starts back behind Ronan Izmir in Shepherd and Free For All. The key to him was also getting plenty of clear galloping room down the middle of the track, and he'll be exiting from a box he has a pretty good record from. I've included number 5, Corborn Hitman for third. Will appreciate the steep drop in grade and after weakening late in the Canberra Cup heat last week. And Go Home Bro is shooting for 4 straight at Wenny and should get a soft run from the draw. But I think Anthony As a Party has a pretty strong hand in the first leg of the quaddie.
All right, well, when we salute in race 5, first leg of the quaddie, we have no excuses but to go and buy ourselves a dinner or at least a dainty banquet, and that's what you'll be doing if you can get up in race 6, mate. You're interested in the inside draw here.
Yes, Ben, I'm really intrigued to see how the market's going to come up in this race. I reckon there's 4 or 5 live chances, so I'm going to play really wide in our quaddies. Going to go with number 1, Dainty Banquet. Now, on face value, the draw might seem a little problematic because she is a wide runner and she has drawn towards the inside. But I think she's got enough speed to lead this race, and if she skirts a little wide on the first turn, she might be able to hamper 1 or 2 others. If she does lead, she's going to be very hard to run down. Just forget her run in the Megastar Prelude last week when she got copped a heap of interference. She looks a good bet for mine on Saturday night, so happy to go with number 1, Dainty Banquet. Tricky Business has really hit his straps of late and should be able to blast across from near the outside with not a lot of speed around. Number 8, Kobe J, has turned in a couple of bottler runs the last couple of starts. He'll probably have to cover a little bit of ground from a wide draw, but can really motor when he's fully balanced. And number 5, Edge, is awkwardly drawn but can descend late. I'm going to go with number 1, Dainty Banquet.
All right, so we're 2 legs into the quaddie. We've already got a nice price up, I'm sure, and we head into race 7, and we're hoping to rock up a little bit richer into this one. This is where we can really make our money. No pressure, buddy.
Yeah, number 2, Rock Up Richer. Ben, you've nailed it on the head. This race seems to be devoid of a lot of out-and-out early speed, which has me sort of leaning towards the greyhounds that are drawn close to the rail and able to hold a position through the first turn. Rock Up Richer box manners has sort of been deserting him a little bit the last couple of starts, but he's absolutely descended late to run sub 30 seconds on both occasions. His record suggests that box 2 is again going to suit, and with not a lot of speed around, I reckon he can really mow them down late, so he's the top pick for mine. Now, my play in the race would be to include him in a Quinella or an Exacta with Little Rum, who was really sharp on the bunny last week. She looks the potential leader in this race if she can hold out Rocket Banquet, carving across from an outside alley, and she'll be in this race for a long way. A couple of ones for wider multiples. Number 5, Cosmic Sloy, who has really improved in her 2 Wentworth Park runs, and it has enough speed to go close. And Ritzer Joe number 1 goes in for 4th, but really hard to see the winner coming from outside, Rock Up Richer and Little Rum.
All right, and then we look to wrap things up in the last leg of the quaddie, and this is the race we're all looking forward to. It's the Group 3 Chairman's Cup. It's over the 720. This is the final. If you had to watch the heats, Proven Impala certainly the one to beat in this one.
Yeah, it certainly is, Ben. She was absolutely outstanding in the heats, running 8 or 9 lengths faster than anything else that qualified for the final. This race seems to be run to suit as well here, to tell you the truth, on Saturday night. There's not a lot of speed drawn around her. She should be able to carve across towards the bunny, lead into the first turn and take a power of catching coming down past the finishing post the first time. I don't think this race is a lay-down misere, to tell you the truth. She's going to be short enough in the markets. If you can get around the $3 in early markets, that's very backable. But she's going to be my top pick easily, and I think she should be able to dominate this race from out in front. So Proven Impala on top. I reckon you can probably back Corborn Looney as well in this race. Now, the discrepancy in the market between the top 2 are going to be fairly significant on Saturday night. If you go back a couple of starts, Corborn Looney actually started favourite over Proven Impala and beat that greyhound. She's again got the benefit of drawing underneath her here again. She's a top greyhound. I know she was off her A game last week, but she's a smoky for mine. I'm happy to back her at an each-way price as well. Madison D is the big knockout for mine with what appears to be a charm run off the draw. Going to throw in number 1, Little Grey, for 4th, who should get some breaks with her early speed. Meaning I've left out Smart Valentino, I think is a little bit awkwardly drawn, but hard to see the winner for mine coming from outside number 8, Proven Impala, and number 4, Corborn Looney.
As we said, there's certainly no excuses for not getting value at some of these nights. Any group race, you can get the best tote. Plus 5%. Sportingbet have given you every single favour you need, so make sure you get on top. It's guaranteed better than all 3 totes. All right, mate. Well, we've knocked off the quaddie. We've gone 1, 2, 3, 4 straight through. Now we focus on the best bet, one that we can give a real crack.
Race 7, number 2, Rock Up Richer. Ben, hard to see the winner coming from outside of himself or Little Rum, but I reckon he might be able to do enough late to get the cash for us.
And for those a bit scared to put on a serious investment, perhaps one a little wider, just so that we can give it a bit of a tickle.
Race 9, number 1, Grovebrook Boys. This is a really hot race, actually, but he's got a stack of early speed from an inside draw. I think he might be at a price to be able to back, and he should be able to give you a good sight for your money.
All right, and let's just finalise your quaddie tips.
Going to start off wide in the first leg and go with Dark Assassin, Furley Rain and Corborn Hitman. Going to take half the field in the free-for-all with Dainty Banquet, Tricky Business, Kobe J and Edge. In the third leg, going to go with Rock Up Richer and Little Rum. And in the final leg, if we're alive, we'll be cheering home Proven Impala and Corborn Looney.
Well, no excuses there. You had a good week a couple of weeks ago, then a donut. This is where we bounce back, mate.
Yeah, we do bounce back, Ben. Really looking forward to the 2-day carnival at Dapto on Thursday and Friday night, and hopefully be able to bank for Wentworth Park on Saturday night.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for watching Chasing the Dollar, brought to you by Sportingbet. Good luck with your investments.
This episode of Chasing the Dollar is proudly brought to you by Sportingbet. There's no better bet than a sporting bet.